Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, some motivation. I'm back with another day trading spy recap. Sorry about that. Real quick, as always, I want to say thank you all for all the likes, the comments, the subscribes. Thank you guys for everybody who's sticking with me through the journey. I appreciate every single one of y'all. This journey is just getting started, and it is getting better and better, and we're getting better and better. We're learning every day, and I hope you guys as well. Okay, I love every single one of y'all sticking with me through the journey, and let's get it straight into it. Okay. So today we had two trades, one loser, but one big winner. We will go over that. A W day. Man, we're feeling good. A W day. A prime example of why you always stick to your strategy, because your strategy is not 100% win rate. Your strategy will lose sometimes, but your strategy is there because it's going to win more than it's going to lose, and your winners, whenever you win, that win will take care of the loss. Okay, so if I lost $5 on my winner, I'm gonna make at least $10 or $15. And then if I lose, and then out of three trades, I should lose one and win two. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna win more than you lose, with the capital part and just overall with the amount of trades. That is why you always stick to your strategy. Okay. And so we're gonna go over the economic data as well as the good news that we had come out, which is why we had this little pop from 597 to start off at 598. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so today we didn't have much data come out. Nothing really oh man, what's going on? Nothing really too important today. Um, Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index -4 actual. -4 came out. Consensus was -1. So I mean that's not the best. Um, Everything right here is Philly. So Fed business conditions, Fed capex index, Fed employment, Fed new orders, Fed prices paid, and so all of that actually came out fairly not good, honestly, because negative previous was 16.5. Capex index 14.5, previous 27. Business conditions 18.3, previous 47.2. Philly Fed prices paid 41, previous 59. So I mean that sounds pretty good. Philly Fed new orders 2.3, previous 7.5. So not really good, but I don't. Again, I told you guys that this news wasn't going to be too. I mean, this data wasn't going to be too important for the market to move, and the market actually did dump. So maybe, but I don't feel like that was really any news. I feel like we were just more of a liquidity hunt today, as we always are. And so, what's the good news that gave us the pump today? Well, so it says Israel and Iran exchanged strikes a week into their war today. Israel's military said it targeted areas in the western Iran while building was hit in the southern Israeli city of Beersheba. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Erkchi will be in the Swiss city of Geneva today for talks with his British, French, German, and EU counterparts as an effort to end the conflict. Although the U.S. envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, will not attend. And then it says, this is what actually moved it, gave us that little bounce to start today. It said President Donald Trump said he was still considering a U.S. military strike on Iran's nuclear sites. I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks, he said yesterday. So that is what gave us the temporary bounce, with Trump saying that he was going to give it 2 weeks to make his decision. So we're under uncertainty, but for now, that gave the market a little pump. Okay, so now let's get into our trades and what happened in the market today. So today, what was I looking at in the market? So what I was looking in the market going today, well, we have this order block. We started off in this 598, so I was like, okay, maybe we can get a bounce down from this order block or something like that, and then we can come down and try to reach this liquidity, right? What did we do? We actually pumped through it, pumped up, and what did we do? We took out this high right here. We stopped at this high, creating another equal high, and what did we do? We shot down. But at first, it was coming down, and I was like, okay, we took out this little high right here, right? We're going to take out these equal highs. I was like, I mean, usually that's what happens, right? You take out one high, the one that's, if it's right next to it, like this one right here, usually you take that out too. What did we do? We created an equal high, but before we did that, what did I see? Well, I seen this fair value gap. It was a little risky to start the day. I felt like it was a little risky, but I was like, okay, we're right near liquidity. I mean, we have the setup. Let's take it. You know what I mean? Usually you don't like taking a trade as soon as market opens, because this was pretty much 8:35 to 8:40. This was pretty much like 15 minutes when market opened. And then I knew we had this support right here. And that's what I actually wanted to see. If we were bullish, I wanted to see us bounce off this support, give us a change of character, then try to reach up for the liquidity. We actually didn't do that. We shot up, created this equal high, and when we came down in this 5-minute gap, we started to wick. So oh my goodness, come on, man. I can't stand when it does this crap. Okay. Sorry about that, my good people. So what did we do? We scaled down to our 1 minute, and we have this gap right here. And so I took longs. Whenever we ended up in here. And my target was right here. So about a 101, wasn't the best, you know, but about a 101. I felt like that was pretty much guaranteed. I only did one contract, so good thing, even though I felt like it was pretty much guaranteed. It wasn't that big of a loss because I only did one contract. And that is why you don't ever just throw the whole account in one trade, right? Remember previously I've told you guys we're right next to those highs or right next to these lows. We're going to take them out. It's pretty much guaranteed. I was like, but I did not just throw my whole account. I still only did one contract or maybe two contracts. And like you guys are probably asking like, well, if it's pretty much guaranteed, you're right next to those highs. Usually it happens. Why don't you just throw in a bunch of sides? Because this is why, right? I mean, we just created an equal high. Bounce down. I got in right here for one contract at this 1 minute fair value, our 5 minute fair value gap, scaled down to my 1 minute fair value gap for exact entry. Stop loss at the bottom of this whole move. Take profit at the top of these highs right here. Right here, I would have seen how price was moving, and then if it broke through heavy, I would have targeted that one. And what did we do? It pretty much right when I got in, it just stopped me out. $53 stopped me out. Yeah, for 53 bucks, and we were up already 40 bucks on the week, and 39 bucks on the week, and then so we lost 53, so we're minus 14 on the week with that one. I was like, ugh, okay, whatever, you know, losses happen. Let's we're still early in the day. Let's stick to the script, and let's keep on going. You know, headstrong. Let's keep on going. So okay, we have the support down here. Let me see if we can use this support, give a change of character, and then what was I looking at? So where would I know for confirmation? So I was like, okay, let me see if we use this support. If we use this support and we break up, I want to see this 5 minute, because we have this 5 minute fair value gap, right? 5 minute fair value gap. I scale down to my 1 minute, and my 1 minute fair value gap is right here. We could get a reaction off this highest fair value gap, but you know, at the same time, a lot of times price won't even reach all the way into that highest one. A lot of times you do want to take your entry when you're bearish off your highest fair value gap, and when you're bullish your lowest fair value gap. But this is like pretty much the very like tippity top, right? So I mean, I feel like this one is pretty much the guaranteed fair value gap that would get the reaction off of. So I was like, okay, for my confirmation, I want to see us bounce off of this support right here, right? Because it was previous resistance, so we can turn it into support. As we did hold up a little bit for support. I was like, okay, I want to see it hold up for support, shoot up. And let me draw it out for you guys. Shoot up and validate this fair value gap and use an inverse fair value gap, and then use shoot, invalidate this fair value gap, create an inverse fair value gap, and shoot up to take profits, right? But what did price do? Price broke through the heavy, and I also had something for that. I was like, okay, if it wants to break through the support, let me see how heavy it breaks through the support, and then I can see how heavy it wants to break through the support. And then if it breaks through heavy and it gets close to these lows, I'm targeting those lows, okay? And I've been had these lows marked out, but you know, you just gotta mark out a bunch of things so wherever price moves, you can know where it wants to hit towards, right? You see what I'm saying? So it targeted up towards here. We were close to these highs, like real close. I was like, okay, we want to target these highs. We didn't get them. We broke down, and we have this support right here, so we can still use the support. We broke through that support. Now we got close to these lows. I was like, okay, price wants to trace towards these lows. So, so we broke down heavy. I was in my 5 minute. What do I see? Baby, what do I see? So what do I see? I see a 5 minute fair value gap where we have this big candle down and then we have this wick ups, right? So basically creating a little gap. Go to my 1 minute. I have my fair value gap right here. My highest one is right here. And then there's also one right here. So this whole area is a fair value gap. I wanted this highest 1 minute fair value gap to get hit. And then it basically did, right? And this fair value gap didn't really get touched. It just almost didn't. But what did it do? It created this little area right here as kind of like a resistance, right? And so what was my thought process going right here? So my thought process right here, again, I wanted this fair value gap to get hit. And remember, this is all my 5 minute fair value gap. And I also had this fair value gap right here. So this was a very good one, guys. This was a very good, like, and actually we came back and touched this fair value gap. We could take out all of this, but that is kind of risky of a move, you know, because we kind of already did take all of this. We touched these equal lows. We did sweep them technically, but we still could break down because we did come back up and fill a fair value gap right here. If you guys can see, we did come up and fill this fair value gap right here. And we could break down and shoot all the way down and break this. But that's kind of late to the party. I'm not going to lie to you. That is very late to the party. And I felt like in my rookie days, or not, my rookie days, my beginning days, I would have waited for this whole full move to play out, then be like, oh, okay, it's trading up to my fair value gap. I would have took the trade somewhere up here, and I would have been waiting in because this has been a whole chop, pretty long chop of a move, and it could end up paying off, but you missed the whole move already. You know, see what I'm saying? But okay, let me get back to my trade. So the first one lost 53 bucks, and then this one. So this is a good one, guys, that you guys need to. This is why you need to know candlestick patterns, okay? So what did I see? We broke down, used this as support, right? I was like, okay, equal lows, easy. You know what I'm saying? Give me my pullback to my 5 minute, 1 minute fair value gap. I have my 1 minute fair value gaps marked out. And what did I see? So this is, guys, where you gotta know, where you need to know candlesticks. We gave this pullback, right, into this fair value gap. We gave this pullback into this fair value gap, right? And what did we do? Have a continuation candle. That is not what I want to see. Why? Because that's a continuation candle. When you have a full candle like that with no wick on it, that is called a continuation candle. So normally price wants to continue after that, right? That's why we always want to see wicks, because that shows opposite side of fighting. So I want to see a wick, like on this candle, when it shot up, it wicked down, showing that the seller stepped in. Right here at this candle, it's not showing seller stepped in. So I felt confident about that one. I didn't take it right here, right? And what was my, let me just show you what my thing was. I actually wanted it right here. Stop loss is on top of all my fair value gaps. And then my take profit was down here. Right? So that is almost a 3-to-1. And honestly, if I would have held it all the way down here, that would have been a 4.3-to-1. I didn't get it all the way down there, and that is okay. So, and actually I got in right around here, so it's actually about a 1.3-to-1. So, man, that actually might work out. Boom, touch this fair value gap, and it might be breaking all the way down. That could have been another good entry, but, you know, kind of late to the party, like I said. But, man, that bad boy might break through. Okay. So again, that was a continuation candle. So I didn't get in right there. And it started to break down. And it was struggling to come back up. And it broke down again. I was like, man, did I just miss the move? And keep in mind, I would have been frustrated if I missed that move. I would have been frustrated if I missed that move. Because whenever you wait for the whole setup to happen, when you wait for everything to happen, and it just doesn't play out like almost exactly how you want, and it doesn't just quite break exactly how you want, and then it takes off without you and you're waiting for the whole thing, those are the most frustrating missed trades. Like, those are the most frustrating missed trades, right? When you wait for it, it happens, but not quite to the T like you want it, and then you miss it. Those are the frustrating ones. But, so I thought I was missing it. I was like, man. But, you know, I was still patient. I was like, man, you know, I probably missed it. But I was still patient. What did we do? We came all the way back. It didn't quite give the pullback I wanted because it barely swept out this right here, but I thought it was going to try to trade up into this fair value gap now. But what did it do? It came up, gave it like a struggle candle, gave just a little bit of a wick, and then the next candle it broke down a little bit, and this candle I got in at this candle right here. Stop loss on the top. And then you also had these lows right here, and I was like, okay, let me see how it breaks through these lows. It broke through these lows pretty heavy, created another wick down here, created more equal lows, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna hold my contracts for this one. And that is exactly what happened. So I got in right here, 2 contracts, and it broke down, boom, 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 boom. I was up $200. Like pretty much exact, like right when I hopped in, it flushed my way. Pretty much right when I hopped in, because I hopped in what 9:39, 9:40. This candle flushed down, came back up, flushed down. So I was up $200 in literally like 2 minutes. Name another job where you can make $200 in 2 minutes. That is why trading is the best job and best skill to master for yourself, where you can literally be solo, don't need to depend on anybody. You can literally make as much money as you have, like as much capital as you have, you can make money. You see what I'm saying? Like I only put in 2 contracts, so that was only $200 in 2 minutes. But imagine if I had like 5 contracts in. You see what I'm saying? So name another job that is this awesome. And that is why I'm so passionate about this skill. That's why I continue pursuing it, continue to try to get better at it, and am going to be profitable with it, because I continually want to work on it, because this skill can pay you $200 in 2 minutes. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't take my trade yet, right? So it broke down. I held it, and I actually added 2 more contracts right here. So I added another 2 contracts right here. I was like, okay, we're right next to these lows. We're going to take these bad boys out. You know what I'm saying? It was probably a risky move. Actually, not probably. A little risky. But at the same time, if you're confident in your trade, convicted in that trade, add some size. Not over leverage. I had 4 contracts in. That's that's more than what I would usually play with. But again, I was super confident in this. I felt convicted in it. Let's take out these lows. All right? Let's take out these lows, baby. And so we're right here. Added 2 more contracts. Boom, boom, boom. Right? And this is where my take profit was at. I didn't want it to wick my take profit. I wanted to break these wicks, right? So when it wick, you could say technically hit take profit, I can sell it. No, I didn't want to do that. I learned from that last trade that I did. I learned from it that I want to see a bigger candle break through, and then it could start to wick. But these little wicks, nah, that's not enough for me. I want to see it break through. So I held it. I held all 4 contracts. Boom, finally broke through. Those 2 contracts that I added late, I only made $50. Why? Because I actually closed them early, right around here. Probably would have made over $150 if I held it down here, but I only made $50 up here, or probably like $100. Yeah, probably about 120, almost 150 probably, if I would have held them a little longer. But I closed them early, about $50 up here, and then I had my other 2 contracts run a little bit. Boom, boom, and then when it started to wick, I sold them right around here. Sold them right around here for $264. So the late 2 contracts I had put in just made back that loss, right? That's all I did, was just made back that loss. And then my other 2 contracts plus $264. That was beautiful. And then this is where my third take profit was. I don't have much size to, kind of let winners run. Like if I would have let a winner run, I would have made more. But I don't really like to let winners run. I kind of want to, because if you let a winner run and you cut your contract size, you're not making as much as you would if you just close them all out. Because if it comes up against you, you're not going to make as much as you would have. So I just kind of like to keep my contracts in. Oh, sorry about that. I like to kind of just keep my contracts all at the same time, like with each other. So, maybe sometimes that could be giving up profits, but I feel like sometimes that is going to be keeping a good portion of your profits. And so, yeah, plus 264, not the best with math. So I was up $40 on the week, right? Up 40, or let's do it exactly. 39 minus 53. That was the first trade. So minus $14. Then plus 50 exact. Then plus 264. So that's up $300 on the week. That is up actually. Up $300 on the day and $300 on the week. So that is awesome, you know what I'm saying? And then if we would have held it a little longer for this third TP, we could have had it, boom, boom, boom. We could have had it right here. But at the same time, it did wick that TP, and it could break all the way up, touch this fair value gap right here, as we see. Touch that fair value gap, and it could be breaking all the way down, you know. But at the same time, it could just be looking like it's gonna break down and then stop and turn around and do a lot of play, or it could touch it, then finally break down all the way down and touch that third TP again and fully break through it. We don't know, but that was a good trade, right? Very good, and that just shows you guys how your trade is not going to work 100% of the time. Your strategy does not work 100% of the time. Nothing works 100% of the time. But if you stick with it, it will produce you bigger profits than you lose, and it will win more times than you lose, right? Like, I lost 53 bucks on this winner. Turn around, same strategy, same setup. Boom, 264 bucks. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you always stick to your strategy. That's why you don't want to keep strategy hopping just because you lose one trade. You see what I'm saying? And so that is a good one. We were very excited about that. Ended the week, and it's another positive week. And the winners are getting bigger. So this week up 300 bucks, last week up 200 bucks, the week before that up 200 bucks, and the week before that I would have made 330, remember? Did a dumb revenge trade, ended up break even that week. So we're looking good, and we're feeling good, all right? And next week is going to be another winner of a week, and it seemed like every week just be flying by, and we are ready for the next already. You see what I'm saying? So very excited about that. Very good one today. That is pretty much it for the trade recap. Let's see, actually, real quick before we go, what news we have. Sunday is actually Tesla's robo-taxi event, so that'll be pretty good for Tesla. And then Monday, let's see what we have coming in. We have existing home sales month on month, global services PMI, manufacturing PMI, global composite PMI, bill auction 6 month, bill auction 3 month, Fed Goolsbee speed, Fed Cutler speed. So Monday's a fairly data day, not too big, but the PMI, and I know existing home sales can move the market fairly amount. All right, so that is pretty much it. I hope you guys are learning every day as well as with me. I hope you guys are seeing how we're getting better every single day, how these winners are picking up, how we're starting to win. We lose here and there, but we're starting to win. And these winners are getting bigger and bigger. These losers are getting smaller and smaller. The discipline is getting sharper and sharper. And that is just showing how every day you need to keep trying to improve it. On your wins, on your losses, keep seeing how you can improve, all right? I love every single one of y'all with me. I'll most likely see you guys Sunday for a watch list as always. Oh, not as always, because last week I did do one. But I'll most likely see you guys this Sunday for a watch list, all right? I love every single one of y'all sticking with me on the journey. Remember, guys, stay persistent, passionate. Make sure you get paid, all right? Peace.